You have to stop waiting to feel ready because you're truly never going to feel or be ready to start something. That is why you should just start. So if this sounds like you, then keep on watching because I'm going to tell you why I think a lot of us just don't start. And this is all my theory. So let's jump right into it. So I know we've all had an idea and we were like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. And you plan it all out. It might even be like a business plan. And you're just like, yes, this is so good. And then you're like, okay. And then you never implement that idea. You never execute. You just kind of let it sit there. And then you're just like, oh, I don't really like this. I don't want to do it. Okay. And then you never do it. That happens to the best of us. That has happened to me multiple times. And that is why now I am never like, oh, I have to brainstorm. I have to plan it. I need to buy the domain name. I gotta set up the website. I gotta fill out the LLC paperwork. And nope, I just start. And the rest happens. Eventually, yes, I do set up the rest. But a lot of the times, we get stuck in all the like little details that we need to get done that we never focus on the actual thing that we need to do, the project that needs to get done, the hobby that we want to start. We just get stuck in those little details. So while I do think it is so good to plan and brainstorm, it is so easy to get stuck in that process. And we get stuck in that process because we want to make things perfect. We want everything to be seamless. We want things to go off without a hitch. That is what we want. And if we're being real, that never happens. It doesn't matter how much you plan something out to be perfect. It never goes the way you want it to exact. Like it's never going to be exact. So let go of that. Stop staying stuck in the brainstorming and planning process and just do it. You get stuck trying to make everything so perfect and pretty and just get stuck in the nitty-gritty that you never put it out there. There has been so much content that I've filmed over the years. It'll be this whole video of me doing something and I decide not to post it because the lighting in a part of the video just wasn't good. Or I decide that nobody cares about this, so what's the point of me posting it? A content creator, Tess Barclay, I'm sure you guys know of her. She's like a content coach on here, and she talks about how you should post the messy content. Right now, that is like the main thing that she is talking about. And of course, if you're a content creator, you're going to resonate with that. But I also think that if you are even just trying to start out a new hobby, or you're starting like a new workout regimen, or you're just starting out with working out, do it messy. There is no reason that you just shouldn't start. And it's okay to make it messy, make it look ugly. You can work out the kinks later. I promise you. Waiting until later to work out the kinks actually works in your favor. Like obviously if you wait too long to work out the kinks, it might be a little difficult, but work out the kinks later. Like you don't have that LLC for your business right now. That's okay. You just get that EIN number and start. And then you can buy your LLC when you start to make enough money. Don't worry about all the rest yet, because then you will just overwhelm yourself and that's when the doubts start rolling in. So get out of the brainstorming and planning phase, stop trying to make everything so perfect and just do it. It is okay for it to be messy. My next point is we often get caught up in wanting to feel motivated. I actually used to think that I had to be motivated in order to post a video. Like I had to be like, no, I have to be in that mindset. I have to be motivated. I have to be inspired to post a video, to edit and all that. Nope. Get out of that mindset. I'm not going to say motivation isn't real because obviously it is, but sometimes you are just not going to feel like doing something. I'm sure a lot of us don't feel like going to work, but we do because we need the money, right? We need to make a living, so we go to work. So you don't feel motivated to go to work, so why is it that you have to feel motivated to post that blog post, to start that new crochet project, to try out Gel X? Why is it that you have to feel motivated to do those things? And that's how all of the things that we like to do end up getting pushed to the back. Alongside with wanting to feel motivated, we always feel like we have to be inspired. And this is going to sound cheesy, but you are your own inspiration. I have said this in different videos, but you are your own inspiration. You do not need to see what something looks like just because you think you may have had the idea first. I know that sounds weird. Like, you might have this idea to put out an art book with just your prints in it and journal entries alongside of it, but you have to see that somebody else did it for you to also do it. You do not need to do that. You can just release your art book, put it together, just do it. You don't need to feel inspired to do that. I'm sure people have done it, and I'm sure the inspiration is out there, but sometimes you just gotta be like, I don't really know, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And that is like what I love about being on social media and just the internet in general, because a lot of people do have the same ideas, but they're not the same ideas, if that makes sense. Like, they are similar ideas, but they are executed so differently. And that is what is so cool. I can't tell you how many TikTok videos I've seen that are so similar, but the execution is so different. Yes, people do copy people, but in this instance, sometimes we just are all on the same wavelength. It happens sometimes. So I am going to help you here how to get out of that, like, motivated or wanting to feel motivated and feeling inspired trap. And that is to set up a system. I love systems because they are kind of abstract and you can really make them work for you as an individual. If you know that you're the type of person who likes to sleep in, why are you trying to wake up at 5 a.m.? You know that you sleep in every single morning. There is no reason for you to wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., excuse me. Set up a system that works for you in your late wake up time and maybe even your late bedtime, most likely. I believe that systems tend to work really well for creatives, because when we try to set goals and lay out all the SMART goals out for us, we tend to focus solely on, like, well, I haven't gotten anywhere close to making $5,000 a month. So, whereas you set a system in place where you're like, I'm just going to post 10 videos a week. That's an exaggeration, but I'm going to post 10 videos a week. And that's just all you're going to do. And your routines to do that is going to be batch create, edit all in one sitting, and schedule everything out in one sitting. That'll get all of your content out over the course of the week. And that would be 10 posts. That is setting up a system. So you don't need to feel motivated or inspired. You just need to be disciplined. I love that word. We use that a lot over here. So set up your systems, get into your rituals, and get started on your project, your business plan, whatever it is that you want to work on, whatever it is that you really want to focus on. Get into it and stop waiting to feel motivated and inspired. And my last point of this video is stop trying to quit when it gets uncomfortable. I said this, I believe, in my last video. Oftentimes, when it starts to get hard, challenging, difficult, uncomfortable, that's when we're like, I don't know if I can do this. And I have to say, that is the growth part. That discomfort is the growth part, and you have to go through that. You need to go through that part no matter what. I will never forget when I think it was 16, and I joined track. And the first day we did those warm-ups, I was like, this sucks. I don't ever want to do those warm-ups again. I got home, I told my mom, I can't. That warm-up was so hard. I felt like my body hurts. I felt like I got ran over by a truck. And she looked at me and she said, no, you're gonna do it. And I was like, what? Because normally she was real lenient with stuff like that. But she's like, no, you're gonna do it because you said you were gonna do it. You wanted to join track, you need to do track. And I was appalled. I was so upset. And I was like, whatever. And I kept doing it. Obviously, the warm-up got easier. I actually started to like the warm-up. I still sometimes do part of the warm-up to this day, because track warm-ups are some of the best exercises you can do to stretch your body out and really get warmed up, obviously. That discomfort phase does end up being the longest and hardest, pause, when it comes to starting something new. And that is a good thing. You have to feel that part. You need to problem solve your way out of it. That is just the reality of things. Things are meant to be hard because if everything were easy, everybody would do it and we would all be doing the same thing. And we'd all be stepping on each other's toes and you have to get through the hard part. That discomfort is good. So work through it. I promise. I pinky promise that if you just work through it, you're going to feel so happy afterwards. You're going to feel so rewarded. So yeah. So that is my video. Thank you so much for watching. Oh gosh, I love talking about this. I'm just gonna keep this going. So even though it might get repetitive. So that is all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I love talking about this topic. This still toes the line of dream chasing. I'm still telling you to follow your dreams and chase your dreams and passions and whatever hobbies that you guys want to nurture. I think now is the time more than ever to follow your passions, to do the things that you love. Right now, it is just such a weird time we're living in. And I'm not going to say block out the negativity because I do think we should be paying attention to some of it. But I also believe that we should do the things that we love and really hold on to that. So yeah, I know that sounded a little cheesy, but like I really do mean that. So thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.